I think we are live. Well, hello to anyone who joined us. We are at the Anti-Inflammatory, Vegan, and Fabulous Facebook group, and I'm Liat Nadler. I'm a clinical nutritionist, and with me, Kay. She is my client. We work together. I really, really enjoy working with her, and she has some inspiring story to share with us because and you know what, I will let her tell you guys how her life and how her diet and her approach to diet were before she started to work with me, and then we will talk about more things. I think what she has to say is worth hearing, and yeah, let's start. So okay, we started to work together about a couple or 3 months ago, right?
Yeah, 2 months, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you first came to see me, what were your concerns about diet and making this change?
I think it was a lot of my concerns were around. I had just been to a doctor because one day I had hold on a second. I had sort of I had a weird day where I just had like weird muscle cramps all over my body and I didn't understand them. And I would be sitting at my computer and working, and then like all of a sudden just feel like these weird cramps in my like rib cage and my back. And I was like really concerned and I didn't know what was going on. So I called my doctor and she was like, "We'll come in and take some blood tests." And then she came back and said, "We think you have fatty liver disease. And we think that you should look into a plant-based diet. And so you should talk to this nutritionist about it." And I was like, "Sounds good." Because honestly, it was just, my body just didn't feel like something that could do anything. It was just sort of like a hindrance more than something that I could use to benefit myself. So I wanted to just feel better. I wanted to be able to move around and be active and not feel tired. And I, so that was that was the main reason. And yeah, within 2 weeks of starting just changing my diet, it's like the muscle cramps went away, the periodic heart palpitations that I would get that I didn't understand, those went away. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah.
So what? So this was one of the things that we were talking about during the first time. You also mentioned arthritis and difficulties to sleep, and you also train with your horse, and so it was important to you to be able to actually keep doing that. Um, so can you share a little bit about those changes?
Yeah. So yeah, I think I've had arthritis for a really long time, and I also sleep with a CPAP, and so I've had sleep apnea for a long time, and um, it just and I just remember I would go to ride my horse, and the whole time I was riding, I would feel like it was a really, really hard workout. And then when I would go to dismount my horse and I jump to the ground, my joints hurt always. And I just thought that was just normal, and that's just how it was. And then again, shortly after starting this new diet, I don't have that problem anymore. I can jump off the back of my horse and land on my feet, and I don't feel that stinging pain, and I don't sort of limp for a few steps to try and get my legs back underneath me. I feel like I can just sort of do things. I can also I used to have trouble jumping in the back of my truck to hitch up my trailer, and I would kind of struggle to pull myself up. And now it's I just get up in there. So
Lighter.
yeah, just lighter. Yeah. Just more comfortable. I mean, just way more comfortable. Yeah.
I think one thing that struck me the most last time we talked is that your trainer actually started to challenge you more during your trainings because you are able to do more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she started saying we think that you can maybe move up to the next level. And she used to have to give me a lot of breaks during my training, and now we can go for a lot longer without any breaks. And I feel for the first time, my horse is working harder than I am, which like never was a thing before.
So awesome.
Yeah, I don't find myself like breathing is hard anymore. I've had asthma my whole life. I've always had asthma and I've always had problems with it.
Mhm.
And like, it's really, really, it's gotten so much better. Liad, I think I told you I went on that one trip where I accidentally like left my inhaler at home and I was like so worried. I got all the way there and I went to go to bed and I was like, oh no, I left it at home. And I was like, okay. If it gets really, really bad, I'll drive home. And I had like a little like rescue inhaler I could use, but I was like, I'll just see what happens. And like went 3 days without, and like working hard, riding every day in the woods, you know, with my friends, like out in the middle of nowhere and no inhaler for 3 days and was fine. So just wild. I would have never been able to do that before. I would have never been able to do that.
It's a miracle that I witness every day, how the changes in your diet can actually change so many aspects in your life that you don't even expect them to change.
Yeah.
Now, something that may help people in the group is, you know, something that we talked about, changing your diet, especially is a huge shift like you did, and you still do.
Mhm.
It's hard. It's not an easy thing, right?
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about your story, about what your experience was, you know, before you did this change? What have you tried before, and why this time it's different for you?
Yeah. So before this change, I have tried every like diet under the sun. I did Weight Watchers. I did Metabolic Research Center. I did Jenny Craig. I did Noom. Like, I did like some sort of, what was it? The MetaFast online, you know, like all these pre-packaged plans where they send you these packages of food and you like eat out of the package and it's supposed to make you lose weight. And like, sure, you lose weight, but you feel like tired and like kind of, I always felt kind of sick. Like my stomach always hurt a lot. And so like that stuff never worked for me because I'd get on it for a couple of weeks and then I'd be like, I don't feel good. Like I can't keep doing this. So I'd have to quit. And, or like it would be a program where it would be like, I'd have to count up the points. And then I'd get to a point where I'd be like, I don't want to count points anymore. Like, I don't like counting calories every day. It's just tedious. And it's just one more thing I have to do. So I couldn't stick to it. And so, and I'd always, like, I hadn't really been like a really like terrible eater, I don't think, but I did eat meat, you know, like I did eat meat before. I ate meat and dairy pretty regularly, just about every day. And I thought that was just like a normal thing. And that's how you get protein. Like I had a lot of misconceptions about how you nourish your body. And so when I started on this, I was like, you know, I don't know, but something's got to change. And like, I've heard that this works for some people. So let's just try it. And honestly, it was hard. Like, I'm not going to say this was easy. Like, it's hard to like, to look in your, to like give away your stuff. Like I had to go through my freezer and package up I took all of my meat and I put it in a box and I took it to my friend and I said like, here, and I made it sort of, yeah, I tried to make it like a gifting experience, you know, like I was trying to think of it as like, I'm doing a nice thing by giving these things away. I'm taking these things out of my life. So I wasn't going to like finish my steaks and then get started. I was going to just start on this diet. So I just went through my fridge. I went through my pantry. I packaged up everything that wasn't on my plant-based diet. And I just took it to my friends' houses and I said, here, you can have this. You can have this. I'm giving you this delicious food. And I am now going to like focus on nourishing my body. And I definitely had days. I had days where I'd be like, man, I'd love to order myself a chicken tikka masala right now. But I didn't do that. What I did was when I started to have those like feelings, those cravings, those like kind of overwhelming desires, as I would just sort of sit with myself and I would meditate on it and I would think like, this is a hard thing, right? But I've done hard things before and I'm a strong person and I can do this. And I'm feeling better in my body and I love the way my body feels. And, you know, like I like the way the food tastes. The food that I'm eating now tastes delicious. It tastes great. It's not like eating cardboard at all. It tastes absolutely wonderful. It's just different from what I was used to. It's just a change, right? And so like with any change in your life, you just have to commit to it and say like, I'm doing this. Like every morning I would get up and say, this is what I'm going to do today to make myself feel better and to nourish my body and to like be a healthy person that lives a long time and enjoys life. And so, yeah, I just made the commitment to it. And that's really how it's been. Like, and I thought it was going to be a lot harder, especially now that it's summertime and I'm going out and, you know, like interacting with people, going to barbecues and stuff. And I've realized that, like, first of all, my friends are so much more supportive than I thought they would be. They will make plant-based dishes for me and bring them to the barbecue. And I've learned one time I stood and I flipped burgers for people. I didn't have a burger. I just had I had some green salad that someone made, and I was like, this feels good. You know, like they can have the burgers and it's okay for other people too. But for me, for my health, for the way that my body functions, this is how I'm going to live a long and happy life. And so it's just thinking about that. It's about every day, just recommitting to it. Yeah.
I have goosebumps, really, because it's amazing, because many people usually feel a commitment more to their friends and their family before they make the commitment to themselves. Yeah, but my friend invited me to this event and they will make this dessert for me, so I have to eat it, because what would they think or say? So I have to salute you. I mean, doing this and how you do it and your attitude is something phenomenal. This is why I thought it's definitely worth sharing with everybody. And it's a phenomenal, because it's not like you haven't tried anything before.
Yeah.
And right, you just made a decision and started. You actually tried so many things before, so many programs, so many approaches, and now you find something that works for you and it motivates you to keep going, and you're 100% in it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I honestly, like I said, I've known vegans in my life, and I've had friends who are on plant-based diets. And I remember I would like look at them and be like, oh, they must be missing out. And now that I'm in it, I'm like, I'm not missing anything though. I'm not missing anything. Like there's this great big world out there. And like a cheeseburger does not solve like the problems of the world. And it does not. And like not eating a chicken McNugget doesn't mean that like the tree outside my window is less green. You know, like it's like there's this whole entire world out there for me. And I don't need to focus on these like tiny little instant gratification things to make myself happy. There's so many more things. Like I
right.
have, yeah, like I can just do so much more now. I don't know if I told you, but I had a day 2 weekends ago where I was actually moving, like physically moving from 4:30 in the morning until like 7 o'clock at night. And I wasn't tired or sore the day after. Not at all. I mean, that's incredible, right? Like
it is, because and I think we talked about it, most people will have a meal and they will feel the crush and like,
yeah,
okay, I have to nap after
yeah.
lunch, right?
Yeah, you feel like a snake, like you've swallowed like some large animal and you have to like lay out and like digest it. And
Right.
it's like now I can just be like, I have my lunch, which is like usually a green salad and some rice and beans. And then I just continue on my day. I don't feel like this like heavy, like sleepy period. I just keep moving.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that is it. Now there were a couple of other things that I wanted to touch based on, because we talked about the pain, the arthritis, your training, your energy level, about your amazing attitude. Two other side effects were your sleep that has improved, and your skin, because at the beginning you did mention that you have hypersensitive skin and everything makes you break out, right, with a hive, and you only limit yourself to one type of lotion or cream because everything else just doesn't work for you. How is that diet improved sleep and your skin? And
Yeah. I mean, I used to be a person, so like sleep wise, for as far as sleep goes, I used to be a person who always had like a glass of wine every night before bed or something, because I thought that's how you fall asleep. Like you have to have some alcohol and that's how you fall asleep. And like it just did not occur to me that you could just go to bed, and so that has just been a revelation. I haven't had any alcohol for at least 2 months now. I mean, I don't drink. I would never have considered myself an alcoholic by any means. Like I would never felt like I was addicted to it, but I just thought that was, again, like just one of the things you did. You just had some wine or a little glass of whiskey and then you'd go to bed. Like that was just how you did it. And so now it's like, literally, I just get to the end of my day and I just go to sleep and I sleep all night and I don't wake up. I still sleep with my CPAP on, but there have been a couple nights where I've been able to take it off for an hour and I still sleep. So I think that might be lessening, hopefully. I used to kind of like, I used to like wake up in the middle of the night with indigestion always. Like I'd always have some sort of like little indigestion in the middle of the night and I have to get up and kind of like walk around. And like that's totally gone. And my face used to always be red, like kind of like reddish always.
mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was just like, again, just one of those things that was normal. And that's not the case anymore. Like I have like a more like even skin tone now. And I used to have these like rashes all over my arms always. And I could never figure out why. And again, like they've just kind of vanished. It just
miracle, right?
I know it's
all the time, by the way, because most people wouldn't come. I mean, there are some people, but most people wouldn't come to see me because they have hives or skin issues. But then eventually they will report that even the skin says thank you for the good food that you put in your body.
Yeah, it's just I just feel like more like clear, just in general, just clearer. Like I feel like I see things more clearly than I used to. I feel like I'm more clear-headed. I feel like hormonally I'm a lot more balanced. Like I feel like I used to have some sort of like mood swings every once in a while, and that's just kind of like evened way out. And I just I've come to a point where I sort of like I definitely crave produce now more than I used to. There are parts of the day where I'm like, oh, I could really go for a cucumber right now. Would have never thought. Just like I wander into the kitchen and the first thing I think of is like, where's my cucumbers and celery? Like I need some of that. It just doesn't occur to me to like think of like getting a bag of chips or anything like that. Like I just go like, oh, I'm a little hungry. I should have some celery. I don't like, and that bitchin' sauce is just incredible. I use that stuff. That stuff is really good.
Yeah. You know, the body knows what's good for him. And when you put something good in your diet, you absolutely, your body knows it and asks for more, especially after a long period of time where it was deprived of such, nutrient-dense food, I would call it.
Yeah.
So this is an amazing sign as far as I'm concerned, because your body tells you, this is what I need, and you listen, and you reap the benefits eventually.
Yeah.
You're able to move more. You are able to experience less pain, to perform better, to sleep better, to be more happy, to be more balanced, to even feel better in your skin.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. This is an amazing journey, and I'm really, really thankful for being able to be part of your journey. This is actually why I'm doing what I'm doing.
It's awesome.
Right? And so for those of you who watch it probably most people will watch it probably offline when we are not alive. If you have any questions, um, you want to ask Kay, you want to ask me, feel free to leave a comment and we will get back to you. Do you have anything else to add?
I think that I think the biggest part of this whole journey for me is just I want people to know that like they can do it. Like you can do this. And just if you feel like you can't, just believe in yourself and sit with it for a minute and just go, this is just one thing that's going to make such a big difference, and it's worth it. It's just worth it, like it's so worth it. You feel so much better. I didn't know. I thought that I was just getting old and like my body was just failing and there was nothing I could do about it. And like it's changed. Yeah, it's changed everything. It's wild.
And I think also getting the support from your family, from your friends, people that surrounds you, that actually helping you through the process, it's so important. Like it's very valuable, right? So if you don't have that kind of support, there are many people you can reach out. You can use this group. You can reach out to people who have been going through this process and can guide you. You can look up for professionals, of course. And yeah, so this has been incredible. I really thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Inspiring people, and keep doing the amazing work that you do.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, unless there is anything else, I think we can say goodbye for today.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me end this, and bye, people.
Bye.